In an unprecedented ruling, the Gauhati High Court has ruled that India's ace investigative agency, the CBI, can't be treated as a police force. The Gauhati High Court has quashed the Home Ministry resolution of 1963 that constituted the CBI. The court said that the CBI was neither an organ nor part of the Delhi Special Police Establishment, and thus it can't be treated as a police force under the DSPE Act. In fact, sources have told NDTV that the CBI has said the government will be challenging the Gauhati High Court order in the Supreme Court. The CBI says that we are yet to receive a certified copy of the judgment, but the CBI is seeking legal opinion on whether it will apply to that case alone or will it have a bearing on all cases that's being investigated by the CBI. Well, my colleague Neeta Sharma now joining us for more on that. Neeta, a very curious judgment there. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Bani, it's a very curious judgment. The entire CBI headquarters is agog with the judgment because they don't know what will be the outcome, whether the judgment will affect this very particular case or all the investigations and all the probes that they are conducting everywhere in the country. The CBI says the order is so peculiar that the court has ruled that CBI is not a police force, so it cannot investigate, interrogate suspects or file charge sheet. As you rightly say, CBI gets these powers from Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. The resolution was passed by the Home Ministry, but the court held in its order that CBI is neither an organ nor a part of DPSE. And so CBI cannot be treated as a police force constituted under DSP. So now the CBI is saying that they are taking legal opinion. They are yet to get a certified copy. And they are also saying whether this judgment will be confined to this very case or on all other cases. We have to keep it in mind that CBI right now is investigating very high-profile cases like the Colgate scam, the 2G scam, Gujarat riot cases. So whether this judgment will have a bearing on all these cases, it will have a very serious effect on all these cases if the CBI doesn't challenge it. But the CBI also says that on its own, it cannot challenge the judgment in Supreme Court. It has to be done through DOPT. That is why they are taking a legal opinion on every aspect of this judgment. Bani?
Indeed, Neeta, it seems that the CBI has been taken aback by that judgment by the Gauhati High Court. Well, let's just have an expert there to put things in perspective for us. We have Subhash Kashyap, constitutional expert, joining us for more on that. Sir, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV. The Gauhati High Court has ruled that the CBI cannot be treated as a police force. So your thoughts on that?
It's a very significant development and may have far-reaching implications, but the judgment has to be studied closely to find out all the nuances and implications. It is for the government to decide. As you know, the CBI functions under the personnel department. It is for the government to decide whether to go to the Supreme Court and seek a stay and then argue the case on merits, and then the Supreme Court verdict would have to be awaited, which will be the law of the land. The Special Police Establishment was actually set up during the Second World War and was basically to treat cases of bribery and corruption in the armed forces. It was actually under the War Department. And cases of corruption and supplies to the army, they were mainly dealt with by it. After the war, it was felt that it should be continued for matters in union territories. And then when the public sector undertakings were set up increasingly, they were also covered by this act. And then under the 1963 act, the states which adopted it started being applied to those states also.
Sir, but what kind of ramifications will this order have for the CBI? We know that the CBI is investigating several high-profile cases at this point. So what kind of impact do you think this will have on the CBI?
Well, as I said, that will have to be studied in depth But on the face of it, it seems that it will have serious implications, and it would certainly put the matter under serious doubt whether the CBI can continue with these cases. And therefore, I feel it would be necessary for Government of India to seek a stay and then appeal against the judgment of the High Court.
So you're saying that there is a chance that the CBI might have to stop investigating those high-profile cases?
I don't think it is, as I said, it is for the government to decide, but I presume the government will go to the Supreme Court and seek a stay and would appeal against the judgment.
Just to get your opinion on a technicality, and I'll quote, even a perusal of the entire records makes it clear that the resolution was neither produced before the President nor did it receive the assent of the President. So, strictly speaking, the resolution cannot even be termed as a decision of the Government of India. So, does this mean that all resolutions of the government need to be ratified by the President?
No, you see, this is an executive order. This was done by what is called a resolution of the government, an executive order. All executive orders are issued in the name of the President, but it is done under the rules of division of responsibilities in the government, at what level it can be done. Certain orders are issued in the name of the President, but they are signed only by senior officers of the government.
All right, that was Subhash Kashyap, constitutional expert there, shedding light on what this order by the Gauhati High Court really means. Subhash Kashyap, they're saying that it's a very significant order, but of course we do know now that the government will be seeking legal opinion on this.